Hey girl, hey. Yes, hey girl, hey, you heard me right. Your ears do not deceive you. It is your girl, Minister Latreia. I am back. Yes, God's favorite daughter has returned. God's favorite daughter has returned, and I want to officially welcome you back to I Cuss. Say it with me. I cuss, do yoga, and love God, y'all. Oh my God, it's been a minute. It has been a minute. As a matter of fact, it has been a whole year. It's been a year-long hiatus. And baby, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something good. This break was necessary. This break was not by accident. This pause, y'all, this pause had purpose. And in subsequent episodes, I will talk to you about where I've been, why I've been, what I've been doing, and all the things. But on this episode, today's episode is special. It's special because I want to share with you, I'm inviting you in to share with you all my most sacred, raw, and real journeys. Today's episode is special because I'm inviting y'all in to one of the most sacred, raw, and real journeys I've ever walked in my life. I'm talking about my road to sobriety. My road to sobriety. I'm a few weeks away from celebrating being 1 year sober. Can I get a round of applause and some snaps for that? I am a few weeks away, not 1 week. June 9th, I celebrate being 1 year sober. And girl, let me tell you the growth, child, the healing, y'all, and the grace of it all. I thank God for it. I thank God for it. So let's get into it. Some of y'all been asking, where you been, sis? And I've been out. I've seen the DMs of, where you been and when's the next episode and all the things. And wow, I appreciate you all reaching out to me and checking on me and asking me when the next thing is coming. I want to be honest and just let you know that I've been healing, right? I've been healing. I've been getting still. I've been getting honest. And I have been letting God do open heart surgery on my soul. So while I love you all for the encouragement, right, and the inquiries, the truth of the matter is I could not keep showing up for y'all if I was spiritually dehydrated and emotionally bankrupt. This time last year, I was drinking too much, way too much. And not to enjoy wine or spirits or anything, but really just to numb myself, right? To numb myself from shame and disappointment and sadness and all the things. I was functioning, but barely. Y'all saw me smiling in public, but what y'all did not see was the private suffering. And one day the Holy Spirit said, tapped me on my shoulder and said, sis, I need you to sit all the way down and let me do some work. And so I did. And I know when people go and decide that they're going to be clean from whatever their addiction is, they talk about hitting a rock bottom. I hit rock bottom, and that's when I knew I needed to get myself together. I hit rock bottom and I lost everything, and that's when I realized I needed to get my life together. I didn't have a loud rock bottom. I didn't. It was more like a quiet realization. The realization that I was tired, y'all. I was tired. I was so tired. Tired of pretending, tired of avoiding, and tired of needing a drink just to relax. At this point in my life, the drinking had become so routine. I would pick up a bottle of wine just because I woke up and had breath in my body that day. That's a reason to celebrate, right? On Sundays, we're sitting on the back deck and let me get a cocktail or a glass of wine or a bottle of wine and just celebrate just being able to sit outside, right? On Monday, my favorite show was coming on Monday, so let me grab a bottle of wine. On Tuesdays, I got to study for whatever, so let me grab a bottle of wine. It's Wednesday, and just because it's Wednesday, let me get a bottle of wine. And we all are familiar with, hey, it's Friday. I worked hard. It's payday. I'm gonna treat myself. Let me go get me something to drink, right? We've all been there. But on July 9th, 2024, I took my last drink. I took my last drink. No grand announcement, no viral post, Just a whispered prayer. God, help me stop. God, help me stop. And he did. Here's when I knew I needed God to help me. Because, see, I had asked God many times before, God, take the taste of alcohol from my mouth. But y'all, it wasn't the taste that caused me to crave the alcohol. It was the chains that I bound myself in, the chains of disappointment, the chains of guilt, the chains of embarrassment, the chains of imposter syndrome that I bound myself to. But in asking God to help me, God reminded me that, daughter, when Jesus died on the cross for you, those chains were removed. Those chains were broken. So stop trying to bound yourself in something you've already been saved from. God help me stop. And he did. Not overnight. Not overnight, y'all. Not without struggle, but minute by minute, day by day, decision by decision, God held me. And I kept showing up. This journey has been anything but easy. Anything but easy. I've cried, I've craved, I've questioned, but guess what? Through every tear, through every craving, through every question, God met me in every one of those moments. And not with shame, not with guilt, but with his grace. He said, daughter, I got you. Just keep going. Sobriety is sacred work. It's sacred work. It's not just about saying no to the alcohol. It's not just about saying no to the pills. It's not just about saying no to the thing. It's about saying yes to peace, yes to clarity, and yes to divine alignment. And for me, it's about breaking generational curses. If you've read my book, Beauty from Ashes, A Journey to Purpose, then you know alcoholism is on both sides of my family. Both my maternal and paternal grandmothers had their own battles with alcohol. My maternal grandmother, I remember being a child, and in the middle of the night, my mom would get a phone call from either her mother, who was drunk because she was drinking to numb herself because she was battling her own things, right? Trying to survive through her own trauma, trying to forget her own trauma. She became an alcoholic, and she would call her children, adult children, in the middle of the night in tears and incoherent, and my mom would gather us up, and my uncle would gather up his family, and my aunt would gather up her family, and we would go to my grandmother's house on 3rd Street in Northeast DC, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. The children would be downstairs, and we could hear our parents upstairs talking to their mother while she was in the midst of battling her own trauma, trying to work through her own trauma of all the things that she was lost, the things that were stolen from her. She used the alcohol to numb it. The same grandmother who babysat us one night and was so inebriated that she was hallucinating that people were chasing her in our apartment when we lived in Paradise on J Street. And she scared my brother and my sister and I so bad that we hid behind the sofa. And when I stood up to see if the coast was clear or where she was at or what she was doing, I was hit in the head with an ashtray that stood about 36 inches, 3 feet tall, that was made of metal that my father brought from Germany. They had these little ridges and then diamond ridges in them. She threw it and she hit me in my forehead because she thought I was the person that was chasing her. So when I say This is about breaking generational curses. I need you to hear me. Addiction ran in my bloodline like a thief, but it stops with me. It stops with me because I need my son, who's in the midst of his own addiction battles, to see that you do not have to be bound by the pains and the trauma that you've experienced. Your freedom is in the sobriety, where you are bold enough and sober enough and clear enough to speak your truth and to address the trauma. This is not just my freedom story, y'all. This is my legacy work. This is my work to free my grandmothers from their pain and their trauma. This is the work to show my son that sobriety is his. And most importantly, this is for me. So it's about so much more than just saying no to the alcohol. It's about the legacy work. It's about breaking generational curses. So what's different now? What's different? Let me tell you. I am more grounded than I have ever been in my entire life. More grounded than I have ever been in my entire life. Me and God have a relationship like none other. I can sit and talk to God. I can have conversations with God. I can just feel my Father on me every day. I can feel God's presence around me every day. I move my body, y'all, not to punish it, but to honor it. With walking, with my yoga, with strength training, with some slight jogging. These knees are giving me grace, y'all, that I can jog a little bit, okay? I don't need a glass of wine to unwind anymore. Why? Because I have peace that surpasses all understanding. I have so much peace, so much peace, so much peace that I'm not ashamed to say I was an alcoholic or I am an alcoholic. Something I never thought that I would say out loud. I didn't used to call myself an alcoholic. I think I thought even though I was drinking every day, I'm still showing up for work, right? I'm drinking every day, but I ain't messing up nothing. I'm not falling out. I'm not showing up disheveled. I don't smell like alcohol. I was performing, I was functioning, all the while internally drowning. But eventually, I had to get honest with myself because I was not in control anymore. My coping mechanism was. So now I can say it, and I say it boldly. Yes, I am an alcoholic. And that is not a label of shame. It's a statement of freedom because owning it didn't crush me, y'all. It freed me. It gave me back my power. And if me standing in my truth helps you stand in yours, then to God be the glory. Maybe your truth sounds different. Maybe your truth scares you, but since your healing begins at the moment of your honesty, you cannot heal what you will not reveal. And through it all, yes, I still cuss. Yes, I still do yoga. And most importantly, yes, I still love God. Because freedom looks different on everybody, but baby, it's fitting me like a glove. And now that I am back, we are just getting started. Are y'all ready for this new season of I Cuss, Do Yoga, and Love God? Because it is going to be a wild, spirit-led ride. Here's what is coming up this season. We're talking about faith and fitness, sobriety and spiritual warfare. Come on, y'all. We're talking about healing your relationship with your body, setting boundaries. That means saying yes or no to things that do not feel good to your spirit. We're talking about mental health for Black women, and we're talking about wellness that includes all of us. every aspect of us. That means our curves, our curls, our culture, and all. See, this podcast is not for a woman that's seeking perfection. Not that. It's for women who know that we are all works in progress. We are all works in progress. And while we may be on different paths, we all share the same purpose. So I want to close by saying this. I didn't go to AA. I didn't have a sober coach. That was my personal path, and it worked for me. But I'm a believer in doing what you need to do to stay well. So if you need a meeting, go. Girl, go. If you need a sponsor, please get one. And if you need a sober coach, an app, or some community group, do it. Do it. Because sobriety is not one size fits all. Some people, they find their freedom in a church pew, others in a 12-step program, and others through therapy and community. God uses all of it. All of it. So if you're in this fight, please know you do not have to fight alone. There is no shame in needing help, and there is power. Sis, hear me. There is power in being supported. To every woman listening, whether you're just thinking about getting sober, trying to stay sober, or cheering someone else on, hear me today. You are not alone. You are not too far gone. Let me say that again. You are not too far gone. You are worthy of freedom. Because your story ain't over. Sis, it ain't over. It's transforming. And your healing may be just the blueprint somebody else needs for their breakthrough. So subscribe to this podcast. Share this podcast and stay connected to this podcast because the glow up here is spirit led. And I am bringing y'all on the journey with me. July 9th, 2025 is my 1 year soberversary. And yes, I am celebrating. I didn't think that I would be here. And I said that I wasn't going to do a big celebration, but then I stopped and I was like, girl, why not? You are breaking generational curses. That deserves to be celebrated. You are breaking chains. That deserves to be celebrated. You have overcome something that not many people can say that they have done. That deserves to be celebrated. So I will be celebrating. I will be celebrating. Until next time, you all stay grounded. You all stay growing. And you all stay being God's favorite because we all are. I love you all. You all be blessed. And I will talk to you later. Bye.